speaking of this move that you've mentioned twice now on Brandon Aiyuk, make me a picture, in a theoretical world.
Could it happen? Could Brandon Aiyuk?
If it could happen,
Right.
and it would happen, what maybe would something look like?
I don't know. I mean, they offered a second round pick, reportedly, that got turned down. So, it might take a player that uh, a player of really high caliber that you wouldn't have to pay as much as Ayuk, who could obviously fit seamlessly into that San Francisco uh, probably defense. Are you putting together what I'm saying here?
I am.
Maybe someone who's been a little disgruntled and is looking for a contract extension and hasn't gotten it yet. Um, yeah, if I was Elliott Wolf or Matt Groh, I would put together something that involved Matt Judon, um, because Ayuk obviously would just change the dynamic of not only this Patriots season but seasons to come. He's a top 10 wide receiver. You could make the argument he's top 5 in the NFL. I think he's that good. Definitely top 10. And Drake May is going to need weapons. I mean, that's been the whole thing with people being cautious to put him up right away, is that he doesn't have proven weapons. If you give him Ayuk, who is just the ultimate one-on-one deep ball threat, I can picture it now. I'm getting goosebumps now, just thinking about it. Like Drake May airing it out to Ayuk, having someone like that who's still somewhat young, by the way, but also a veteran who's been to 2 Super Bowls and has played well in those big games. I don't know why the Patriots wouldn't be interested. I don't know why they wouldn't be doing everything they can to get him right now. And so I would be willing to part with a second, Judon, and whatever else they, like a 5th or a 6th, maybe some change. Because Judon, the fit is obvious, right? I mean, imagine how he would contribute to that already really good San Francisco front 7. That would be scary. I mean, like, we know how good Judon is in terms of pass pressure, in terms of getting sacks, speed off the block. Like, he's someone who could easily contribute. Imagine him next to Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, right? Like it's scary to think about. So I think San Francisco would be certainly interested, and they wouldn't have to, pay him all that much. Ayuk is somebody who's commanding like 30 million. And Judon's right now he's commanding 7.5. That's what's on his last deal, the last year of his deal rather. We don't know how much he would actually want. We don't know how much he's actually worth, but it can't be 30 million for a guy that's 31 years old coming off of a really bad season-ending injury. So that would make the most sense to me. So I think New England has the pieces in place, and why wouldn't they go after Brandon Aiyuk, right? Because like I said, he helps Drake, he helps the offense. I mean, the last time that New England had a receiver, besides Julian Edelman, all credit to him, but like the last time they had a receiver like that was Antonio Brown for 1 game in Brady's last season.
It was so awesome.
And remember all the excitement around that. Now, bearing that's a little different because that was still Brady was here, and the Patriots were still considered huge favorites. But wouldn't it just be so exciting if we didn't have to watch like Juju Smith-Schuster this season? And like we Patriots fans have been through awful offense, simply awful, between Mac Jones and Devontae Parker and like these guys that have just been just like mid to bad. We haven't had a super electric wide receiver like Brandon Aiyuk would be. So I'm all for it. I think it'd be great, not just for how good the team would be and Drake's development, but from a fan perspective, I think it would really rejuvenate people's opinions on the season and opinions on the team going forward just by bringing a guy like that in. He would immediately be the best player on the team, no? In my eyes, I think offense or defense, he'd be the best.
Yeah, I agree. And it makes sense too with Judon, like you're saying, he's what, 31, you said? When we're trying to be good a couple years from now, he's going to be
not really part of the picture
for another contract.
Then he has no value, right?
Yeah,
and I love Matt Judon. He's such a good player. Like, I don't think it should be like just toss him because who needs him? No, the D line would really struggle without him, especially with no Barmore this year. I'm not confirming that he's going to be out for the year. I don't know. No one knows. But with an injury like that, they're not going to rush him back because that's like a life-threatening thing. So assuming that Barmore is gone this year, then you lose Judon as well. The D line will take a hit for sure. Like they will take a considerable hit, but you gotta you gotta look at what you're getting versus what you're giving up. And New England is known, defense should be a problem this year. I think they have a fringe top 10 defense this year, even without Barmore. And I think even without Judon, Gonzo's going to have a huge year. Everyone knows that.
Yeah,
you still have you have Duggar and Peppers, arguably the best safety combination in the entire NFL. You have linebackers that are going to be so good, like Tavai is going to be good, Jawan Bentley, Josh Uche, Keon White. I think is going to have a really good year this year. He's looked really good in training camp so far. So obviously the offense needs more help, and when you bring in Drake May, 3rd overall pick, you want to give him someone that he can trust. So I would do that deal 100 times out of 100.